Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Yes. Welcome to the Conscious Spirit Podcast, or welcome
Yes.
back. Right. So
Yeah.
I'm Pam.
I'm Mari-Lyn. I have a hand here somewhere for you on YouTube.
Yeah. Yes. So we have something you all know that have been listening to us for a while. We talk about how we'll sit here and discuss what we want to talk about for
Mhm.
the podcast. Not much discussion today, we knew. And Marilyn's going to tell you the story. I know you can't tell it because those of you watching, because you see her smiling, but she's actually kind of pissed at the moment.
Yes, I
So,
am. I kind of am.
yeah.
Um, the background, I want to explain our backgrounds for a minute. The pink cloud.
Yes.
The whole the whole story around a pink cloud is being in a false high vibration of where you are. "Oh, I'm just going to think happy thoughts and I'm going to be
Yes.
happy.
Uh-huh.
And this tone of voice just makes me nauseous."
Yes.
That's a pink cloud where
The
everything
pink
is
cloud.
wonderful, everything is beautiful, everything is perfect.
And that's not possible.
It's not possible.
No.
It Pink clouds do happen, and pink clouds are very common for people in early sobriety.
Oh, do tell about that.
Um, in very early sobriety, there's this clarity portion of like the brain fog is lifting and you physically
Oh.
feel good and you
Okay.
can think
Oh.
and
So is
every
that like the alcohol is out of your system now? It's been long enough, you understand, you have some understanding of what's going on, that kind of thing. And then, so
Mhm.
is it more than just a physical?
And I'm talking like early sobriety, like, first month,
Okay.
second month,
Okay.
third month, somewhere in there. Yeah, you're physically coming out of the fog
Okay.
and you can start wrapping your head around, wow, there really is more to life.
Right.
Pink clouds are not intended to stick around.
No.
So if somebody's on a pink cloud on Wednesday
Mhm.
and you see them next Wednesday and they're still on that pink cloud, thumbs up. Something's amiss.
Thumbs up. Yes.
Something's amiss because no.
There's some deception going on there. There's some magical thinking.
Magical thing, a
There's
lot of denial.
so may I interject here?
Yes, please.
This also happens with people in the spiritual realm, whether it's I'm a born again Christian. I just found
Mm.
out that I have spirit guides and I'm going to take this journey. I'm whatever, wherever it is, when it comes to spirit, it's the same pink clouds. If you guys have listened to us long enough, you know that we talk about this. There are practitioners out there that are so into you have to think happy thoughts. Oh, don't think that way. You have to think positively. There are times when you need to think positively. Absolutely. But you cannot sustain that. You cannot jump on that pink cloud and hang on to it. We are
Nope.
human. I'm sorry. We have issues. We have shit that's happening. We have bruising and wounding, and it's just not possible. And
And we
things
have
happen.
tragedy and disappointment and
Yes.
all kinds of things.
Yes. And we're meant to feel all that. If you are staying on that pink cloud, you are doing such a disservice to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You really are. You are not allowing yourself to experience what we think of, I'm going to experience life. You hear people say that, like they just go through a divorce or they go through some big, like they change jobs or something. I'm going
Yes.
to experience what life has for me or whatever. Well, you know what?
You
Life,
just did.
yes, yes. Life
Yes.
can suck. It's supposed to have the ups and the downs and the peaks, the valleys, all of that. That is experiencing life.
It is.
Staying on that pink cloud, you are doing yourself such a disservice. Such a disservice.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I threw that in there, but please
Well,
continue.
the ratio of okay, pink cloud versus mud. Um, it's very lopsided.
Mm-hmm.
It's really mud with a
Yes.
little bit of pink cloud.
Yes.
It
Yes.
really is.
Mhm.
Being human is dirty. It's
Yep.
being down in the muck and surviving it and thriving through it.
Yes. Yes. And something I want to say is, and that's what you came to do.
Mm-hmm.
You were strong enough, courageous enough to come into another life. Not
Mhm.
everyone is.
True.
Those of us that are here, we may even look at we meet shitheads all the time, and we meet unhappy people or whatever, pink cloud people. We all do, right? There's one thing that we all have in common, is that we had the courage to come down and do this again.
And do it again.
Yes. And then our ego went, yeah, I don't think so. This hurts, or this whatever. I'm gonna live on this pink cloud. But no,
Yeah.
and those pink cloud people, boy, did they get their ass whooped.
They
Because
do.
reality eventually hits.
Reality does hit. And
Yeah.
if they would just step off the cloud, it wouldn't be quite such a
No.
drop.
No.
Such a drop to the ground.
And isn't that the truth? That when you stop trying to be on that pink cloud forever, when you realize that being on that pink cloud for a minute or an hour or 2 hours or a day, or what a blessing that is.
Mhm.
It should be looked at as a blessing, because you're not going to stay there you're going to fall right through it at some
Mhm.
point.
And that pink cloud is so different from experiencing true joy,
Yes.
true
Yeah.
happiness.
Yeah.
Because we're on a pink cloud, and I know this from experience. I've been on my own pink clouds in early sobriety.
Mhm.
And when that pink cloud dissipates, man,
Oof.
oof,
Yeah. Reality sets in.
it does. But it was, for me, being on that pink cloud for just that short time was a really beautiful reprieve, but it taught me that it was not real, because you really don't feel things
Right.
when you're on that pink cloud.
Is it also inspiring? I find it to be inspiring, those moments that I get that reprieve, and whatever I'm always healing something. And
Oh,
I
and
get those moments, and it can be inspiring. It's like, okay, I know that that heaviness, whatever I'm going through, isn't forever. Spirit's going to bring in those peaks for me to hang out for a minute. Woo, take a deep breath. Life is not horrible all the time.
the inspiration for me came when the pink cloud dissipated.
Oh, talk about that.
When the pink cloud dissipated and I was plopped in the middle of reality,
Okay.
I could see all of the benefits of my choice to become sober.
Wow. Okay.
I couldn't see that when I was on the pink cloud, because
No, no.
everything was, I couldn't feel. I was
Sunshine and roses, and yes.
unicorn
You're
farts.
yes. And yes, that's true. Because really, that perfect balance, what we talk about all the time, is when you have a full range of emotion. You've got one foot in fear, one foot in love, and that's when everything is really clear. And it's like, oh, okay,
Mhm.
I can do this, and I have
I
free will.
Yeah, I used the analogy just very recently, about feeling joy and sorrow at the same time.
Yes.
And
Boy, that lands.
But you gotta really do some healing to be able to be at that point to
Yes.
feel both of those extremely strong emotions at the same time.
Yes.
But on the pink cloud, you're not feeling joy.
Right.
Okay, you know that term ignorance is bliss?
Yes.
There's your pink cloud.
There's your pink cloud. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense. I get it now. I get what you're, yes, and I agree.
Yeah. So yeah, the inspiration was it dissipates and I'm right in the
That
middle of reality.
absolutely, and I take back what I said, and because I agree with that over what I said. Absolutely. Absolutely. No, absolutely. Yes. And I recently, oh, should we, Mari-Lyn, would you like to open space? I know people like that, and we forget a lot. Would you like
That'd
to
be a
open?
really good idea because I have become really ungrounded.
Oh, okay. All right. And if you don't mind doing the honors, I have
I
a weird
will.
headache today.
I will, and I hope it's the weather because our weather
Yeah.
turned to crap today.
Yeah, it did.
It really
And it was
did.
nice and sunny yesterday, and
Yep, it was. And so if you are driving, operating heavy machinery, if you are doing something that requires your attention, please focus on whatever it is your task at hand,
yes.
and don't focus on this opening of space of this grounding. Just allow your body to ground
Mhm.
and keep your focus on what you're doing and keeping yourself safe. Please and thank you. In spirit, I open this beautiful sacred circle around Pam and myself and everyone that's listening to us whenever and wherever they're listening to this podcast.
Yes.
Welcoming in all of our high vibrational guides and beings that will hold space for us at the vibration of love and acceptance.
Mhm.
I ask that we all be grounded deep into the center of the earth, that our energies just run straight down our bodies, that a grounding cord is dropped for everyone, and we are anchored into the very center of the earth, allowing the energies to just run
Ooh.
down the grounding cord, down your legs, out the bottoms of your feet.
Mm.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh, that feels better. Thank you.
Oh, that feels much better. You're
Much
welcome.
better. So, what I wanted to share, and that's when I asked you to ground, is that I had that I realized when you were just talking how, I mean, I know I've healed a lot of my shit. I know that, but it really sort of came into focus when you were talking about what were that happened at the same time. The
Joy and sorrow.
joy. Yes, I just went through that. Our son, who lives here in the country, who lives near us, has my grandson, my amazing, beautiful daughter-in-law, and then she's pregnant again. He was offered, not just offered, they were chasing him for this, yes, for this job opportunity across the country in the Midwest. I was absolutely heartbroken to think that my grandson and then my new grandson will not be here. I am so close to my grandson. We have such, I make sure to see him at least twice a week. I get him all to myself. He's my little man and I love him dearly, and I get to just play grandma. I don't have to raise him. I don't have to do any of those things. I just get to play grandma, give him everything he wants, spoil him rotten, send him home, right? And he's 2. So as my son was thinking about taking this job, Mari-Lyn knows it was awful. I would walk through the house and I'd see one of my grandson's toys and I'd just start bawling. Or he has this, we bought him this wooden, like a treasure chest, and we keep all his toys in there. I would see it and I'd start crying and I'd open it up and oh my God, it was horrible. And at the same time, I was so happy for my son. He was being pursued by this really big company, and he has worked so hard to get to that place in his career.
Mhm.
And I know it's his journey, it's not mine. And he and my daughter-in-law, that's what they chose to do. So it was talk about that dichotomy. I was in that, and that was a roller coaster ride.
It is rough.
There was about 2 weeks of that, not knowing. They've decided not to take it and they're going to stay.
Mhm.
We so happy about that. Yes, but that was rough.
Mhm.
And what I didn't do, and part of it, thank you, Mari-Lyn, is I never went to that pink cloud, because they would say to me, Mom, everything's going to be okay. It's going to work out the way it's supposed to. Well, I get that, being a spiritual person. So no matter what it was going to be okay. But I didn't go to that pink cloud and decide to,
They were a little bit on the pink cloud.
yes,
Them telling you that says
delusional.
they were a little bit on that pink cloud.
Yes,
And clearly they stepped off the pink cloud and
they
they decided
did.
to go.
Yes, yes. Yes, and really it did come down to they want their grandchildren to be raised with their grandparents in their life.
Mm.
Like right now, my husband is with my son and grandson, giving my daughter-in-law some time off. Like they do that
You mean right now? Right now.
right now, right this very moment. Yep, yep. And they would not get that if they moved away. but my husband is close with our son and grandson as well. It was really painful, but
Yeah.
woohoo, they figured it out and they're staying. So,
Yeah.
but I did not go to that pink cloud. You're right. They were on the pink cloud. I was not.
Mm-hmm.
But that's from all that healing, because I totally could have gone to that place of, oh no, it's all going to be okay. And it's all get, well, you know what? My heart was broken. It was broken. I
You would have
needed to feel that.
denied yourself.
Yes.
You would have denied yourself the experience that you had.
Yes.
And had they actually gone through with it and moved,
Yes.
when reality came
Oh,
to dissipate that
man.
cloud, it would have hit you tenfold,
Yes.
20-fold.
Yes. It would have been just miserable.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes.
Miss Mari-Lyn,
Yes.
let's talk about, I would like to circle back around because I took us in a different direction, but I'd like to circle back around what pissed you off.
Yeah.
This woman it was,
It
and
was a woman.
not just her, she's not the only one. But
No.
there's this concept out there that somehow recovery from alcoholism is so easy. It's so easy. Yay me. Woohoo. Who the
Now,
hell?
so I was listening to a podcast, and I'm listening with an open mind and an
Yes.
open heart. And it was about sobriety.
Yes.
And what I heard blew my mind.
Right.
And then the more I heard, I got angry.
Yeah.
I was I
Sorry, you called me, right? You got you whatever disconnected from that podcast, and you called me, and you were just, yeah. Now, Mari-Lyn, I'm the one that cuss a lot. I throw F-bombs. Mari-Lyn rarely does, and when she throws an F-bomb, you know it's bad. You know she's really, really mad. Yes,
was offended. I
offended.
was really offended.
Yes.
This person, I'm sorry, I don't even know what to say.
Yes.
She didn't understand the definition of alcoholism. So she refused to accept that she was an alcoholic.
Right.
She made the statement more than once that I've just decided to live my life in alignment with everything that's good. And if it's not a hell yes, then it's clearly a no.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And that's for absolutely every decision in my life that I make. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no.
Yeah.
And I had heard her say enough of those two things in different verbiage.
Yeah.
I could not listen to anymore.
Right.
I tried fast forwarding and going, to see, okay, is there something I'm missing here? And every time I stopped it, it was the same thing.
Wow.
And this was a person who, in my experience, was early in sobriety. We're talking under 5 years.
Yeah.
The amount of time doesn't matter. If you're sober,
Yeah.
it's a feat.
Absolutely.
However,
Absolutely.
what I was hearing and what I was feeling was my struggle that I still
Yes. Yes.
have sometimes, even after
Yes.
14 years. I shouldn't be struggling.
No.
My struggle.
Yeah. You were reduced to just, it's your fault because you're not looking at it right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Honey, you're
And
lucky that we were
no,
like in actual person to person with that one, because I would have lost my shit for you.
I never heard her speak about struggle.
Yeah.
But I did hear her explain activity that is abso-fucking-lutely alcoholic.
Oh.
And turn around and say, but I don't understand that, so I'm not gonna. Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't understand that definition. I can't wrap my head around it.
Right.
So that's
Right.
not me.
Right.
Well,
Wow. See, now here's something. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but this is not what she was talking about, but I do understand from just myself and my own wounding and things like that. At some point, you're like, I can't keep talking about myself all the time. I can't keep telling these stories of the abuse and the whatever. Like, I'm just fucking sick of it. I can't do it anymore. That's different than what she was talking about. Like,
yes.
Because of you, I've known a lot of people in recovery, right? And one of the things that they talk about is they'll go to, like, they'll be out of town or they can't make their normal meeting, so they'll go to a different one, whatever. And it's just, I know you have a term for it, but if everyone just gets up and start talking about their story. Drunkalogs. That's it. That's not what I understand. Like, I just can't do that anymore. I can't do the drunkalogs anymore. I don't want to live there. But to go to her place and like, I don't understand, and I don't have. That's such a disservice. I'm just irritated.
There is a distinct difference between talking about struggle.
Yes.
Talking about that desire, that it's not even a desire. Talking about that uncontrollable urge to take that drink.
Yes.
There's a difference between talking about that urge and talking about it, how drunk you got because of it.
Right there.
Talking about
That's
how
what I wanted
drunk
to
you
say.
got because of it is moot.
Yeah.
It's really enough for me to say the urge to take that drink actually hit me 2 nights ago.
Yes.
In all honesty, it hit me 2 nights ago and lasted about that long. Thank you very much, Spirit.
Yeah.
And it was there.
Yeah.
It's enough for me to say that urge hit me, and I remembered what a blackout raging drunk I was.
Yes.
I'm not going to do that again.
Yes.
There was no personal responsibility that I heard
Right.
come out of this person's mouth who was touting that they had all of this amount of months
Right.
alcohol free.
Yes.
And
I gotta,
bravo for anybody who can live alcohol free, but people who choose to live alcohol free don't celebrate a day of sobriety. They don't look for accolades for not drinking. They just don't drink, and it's not an issue.
right.
And clearly you can see and feel my anger that
Yes.
somebody is claiming
Yes.
I want accolades without owning their
Yes.
responsibility of how fucking wounded they are,
Yes.
and
Yes.
how miserable they
Yes.
were,
Yes.
and how miserable it still is in sobriety because it's hard.
Yes.
It doesn't get better
and for
just
her to
because
sit,
drinking.
imagine the people listening to her who are a few years sober, and they're sitting there thinking, oh my God, what's wrong with me? I don't feel that at all. Every day is a misery. Every day I get up and I'm just white knuckling, not going to buy to the grocery store to buy a beer or to, whatever that is.
Yeah.
That is just,
yeah.
I almost said, how dare her? And then I pulled that back because that is such shaming language. And I don't want to shame her. That's not a kind thing to do. Mm-hmm. However, I feel sorry for those people who listen, and there's going to be someone who listens who's struggling. After 14 years, imagine being at a year or two and you're struggling every day just to get yourself out of bed. And you hear this woman talking about hallelujah, and everything is like, I'm on this pink cloud every day. And it's just brilliant. No.
If I live in alignment with everything that's good in my life, then that's how life is. Yes. No, it's not reality. And again, I will admit, I did not listen to everything. I couldn't. I could not get past my own ego, which I own it. I admit it. I couldn't do it.
But she sounds like the same dingbats that talk about manifesting. You just have to align to it, and you have to be in all the things that you want are going to come. No, they're not. Not the things. Okay, you might get some material things. That's not manifesting. Sorry, I can go buy my own whatever. Like, that's not manifesting shit. It's being in alignment for spirit to bring you the good, the bad, and the different. That's all manifesting. You're manifesting your lessons too. You're manifesting your shit. You're manifesting what is right for your highest good for you to continue to evolve and move forward. And now I'm pissed.
In all of my years of sobriety, I was manifesting the connection I have with spirit right now.
Amen.
That's manifesting.
Yeah.
Did I know that's what I was manifesting?
Nope. And you are also manifesting, or to go along with that, your lessons. Mm-hmm. Learning, the clarity, all of that is manifestation too, and we don't talk about that. I don't think you and I really talk on air have talked about it that much, because we've talked about how to manifest, but we haven't really talked about the other, I don't know.
You're right. We really haven't.
No. What a disservice we've done. Seriously. Like, I feel bad that I haven't talked about that. So that would be another podcast, I think, talking about everything that happens in our life. We've manifested, good, bad, and indifferent. And just because it's so-called, in quotes, bad, doesn't mean that it wasn't meant to happen, or somehow we failed, or whatever.
Yes.
No.
It doesn't mean we failed. It doesn't mean we are bad people.
No.
It means we had a really huge lesson to learn, and we had to learn it the hard way.
Yes, yes. And you know what? We asked for it to be that way.
Yeah.
Yes.
True.
Another piece of this that came up for me as you were talking.
You mean yelling?
Yeah. That's as much as she yells now. Is dissociation. So I know about that, of course, because that was from my traumas. I started dissociating. And I've listened to people talk about dissociation, and I wonder if they're really dissociating, because they talk about, like, they don't say the pink cloud, but they talk about how lovely it is and how you're in this blissy place. And that can't, there are levels to dissociation. If you go from like 0 to 10, there's different levels to it. And I that's a whole nother place I could talk about for me, what those levels mean. There is a spot in there that is kind of pink cloudy, but but when I'm dissociated because something triggered me, I don't remember anything. It's a
There's nothing, right?
There's
like
nothing.
Nothing.
Because
I have seen you dissociated.
you've tried to ground me.
I have.
Yeah.
And I can.
Yes, you can. Yep. It hurts like a mother, but you can do it. And anyone who dissociates, getting yanked back in your body, woo! But it's so worth it. So
it's hard. But I can remember having conversations with you while you're dissociated and trying to convince a dissociated person of something is very similar to trying to convince a drunk person of something.
Absolutely.
It's very, very similar.
Yes.
Like, trying to convince you of something, and I'm making perfect logic. You're not.
No.
And after the fact, you're back in your body and you're back in reality, and you have no memory of our conversation. Like zero.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you were even in the room? I was here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's not now, there are times when I'm in meditation and I slip out into that, because it's really close. The sort of the channels of, I'm going to, over here is a dissociative state, here is a meditative state, and they're really close, and you can kind of slip in and out. I did that more than I do now, but I still can. It can be a choice. I can say, I want to go to that pink cloud place, and hell yeah, it's nice. It is a beautiful place, but spirit doesn't keep you there very long.
No.
You can't be there very long.
It is a very different place, though, than just straight dissociation.
Yes. But it's on the levels up. It's probably on like the 6th rung, something like that. For me, it's different for kind of everyone, but 5th or 6th, maybe. I don't know. But yes, trying to, I guess part of what came up too is I wondered with her, is she dissociating? So does she not remember a bunch of the shit that she did?
Yeah, I don't know. I did not lean in at all. Zero.
Oh gosh, you don't want to lean into that.
No, zero. So I really don't know. I just know that what I was hearing did not settle very well with me.
No, it did not.
And it makes me more willing, more passionate about talking more about recovery and how hard it is.
Yes.
How hard it is to really own your wounding.
Ooh,
to look at the person you were during your active addiction, and who you were before your active addiction, that created that addiction.
Yes. Because this just came up and I want to talk about it. There are people who, and I've heard them, again, I've met a lot of people in recovery thanks to Mari-Lyn. They used to come to our meditations and so forth. And there were a couple people that said, no, my childhood was beautiful and it was wonderful and it was this. I just had that gene. to be an alcoholic. And so I became an alcoholic. And I call bullshit. I call bullshit. You may have had a really, because you may have had a really nice childhood. I'm not saying it, but you're going to have trauma. No one gets out of their childhood without trauma, without feeling less than. One of the things that we're here to do in this lifetime is to find our worth.
Yes.
And
Yes.
one of the biggest things that I heard from all of those alcoholics, drug addicts, etc., that used to come was the low self-worth.
Very low, very, very much lacking.
Yes.
So you actually went to an area that I was going to go to.
Oh.
A little different, but the term disease.
Yes.
That alcoholism, addiction really
Yes.
is a disease.
Right.
And they've discovered that through science. There is something right in the brain.
Mm-hmm.
Is it hereditary? Can be, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have to be? No.
Right.
Were you born with that gene? Maybe.
Right.
If you never took a drink, will you still be alcoholic?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Because you're still going to have all the wounding.
Yes.
You're going to have all of that trauma and wounding and damage.
Yes.
To your self-esteem that you are going to try and fill that hole with something.
Something.
And if you choose not to make it be alcohol, it's going to still be the behavior.
Oof.
It might be another substance.
Yep. Might be sex. It might be cigarettes. It might be, I mean, there's all kinds of things you can be addicted to try to fill those holes. Codependent.
So, yes, I did have to come to terms and accept that alcoholism is a disease.
Right. Right.
Because it's been proven.
Right.
Science thing. Is it simply a matter of self-will? Absolutely not.
No.
No amount. Is that the right term? Self-will? Willpower. That's the word I want.
Willpower. It makes sense to me. Yeah.
There is no amount of willpower that can get you sober, can get you clean, that can get you off of whatever your addiction, or get you out of whatever your addiction is.
Right.
Willpower isn't enough.
I just had a thought. Sorry, but on that line. Okay, so we all know my parents were alcoholics. I am the youngest of 6. There were, a few of them have drug issues and alcohol issues and whatever. And it's there. It's all brightly colored. I am not personally an alcoholic. However, I have, as Mari-Lyn has taught, I have a lot of like alcoholic, whatever you call them, traits.
Anchors.
What?
Traits? Anchors. I said anchors.
Anchors. Yes.
Yeah.
I do. And it's like, whoa. So could someone like her actually be someone like me who decided that she was an alcoholic because she was raised in all of that? She has some of those behaviors, and she decided, because I could quit. I don't drink a lot, but I could certainly stop drinking, and I could do it without all of that stuff that you went through, because I'm not an alcoholic. So I could say, woohoo, I'm 1,000 days sober, and I'm a what? Well, of course I am. Yeah. But that doesn't mean and she refuses to say alcoholic, maybe because she's not, and she freaking knows it. I don't know. That was just a thought, because you and I have talked about.
Okay, I was going to absolutely disagree with you.
And you can't.
And I can't. One of the stories that she mentioned really quick, and I'm only going to say this is because anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
Whew.
In my early 20s, there was a moment when I thought I was an alcoholic because I was told that because my parents are, because I
Right.
went out and partied and such, but I'm not.
Right.
Yes.
So when I was in high school, man, drugs were rampant.
Woof.
Rampant.
Hmm.
I could have gotten anything, anytime, anywhere.
Yep.
I was so afraid of becoming an addict.
Oh.
I wouldn't.
Yes.
I smoked pot.
Right.
I did nothing stronger than marijuana.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it. I was terrified. But
Yes.
drinking,
Yes.
ooh, fell in love with that.
Yeah.
Well, she told a similar story that she did a drug and she remembered thinking, I love this so much, I can never do it again.
That means nothing.
So she
I mean,
didn't,
for me, yeah. Yeah.
right? So she didn't.
Right.
For me, just knowing that, it drew me in.
Ah, okay.
It drew me in, and I wanted to hear the
Yes.
meat. I wanted to hear
Yes.
the meat, the bones, the gristle.
Yes.
And you absolutely could have a very valid point that she had the traits.
Yep.
I'm going to go so far as to say that she even wanted to be
Yes.
alcoholic.
Well, look at the accolades she's getting. Look at there's a I mean, I didn't listen to it, but there's almost a pride she has.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
And I don't know anyone who's proud in that way to be an alcoholic. Proud that you're in recovery and that you have stayed sober, but proud that you were that?
I don't know if pride's even the right I don't
Right.
know if pride's even the right word.
Yeah.
Man, am I proud to be a sober alcoholic? That's a tough one.
Thankful.
Oh
Great.
my God, the gratitude,
Yeah.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
do I have humility around it? Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
And um, there is, and this might be a good point to make about pride, right? There's this boastful pride that is very unhealthy.
Yes.
But then there is a healthy pride that we take
Absolutely.
things we do and things that we achieve. I don't know that pride fits
Okay.
me personally.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, but I think she's doing a disservice to herself. There's going to be a big fall from grace for her. Just why not? She's going to get
Um,
her ass pushed down those stairs, and she's going to feel every step on the way down.
most
And
likely
it's going to hurt and that's her journey.
it is.
This
And my hope for her is that it does not take her back to drinking or
correct.
back to a very destructive
Yes.
behavior. And maybe for her, life is perfect.
Maybe.
Maybe for her, she dealt with her struggles and she's in alignment. And
You know you're talking bullshit, right?
I'm
You
saying,
know no
right?
one. You know no one can do that. I understand you giving her the benefit of the doubt. I will take the benefit of the doubt. But
my point is, it was no accident that I listened
absolutely.
her speak,
Yes.
got offended, got
Yes.
angry,
Yes.
and decided to talk about it.
Yes. Because you want the truth out there.
Because
We're all about the truth.
it sucks ass, man. It just sucks. It's hard.
Yes.
And ooh, I hate to say this, but it would be so easy to go back.
Sure.
As hard as it would be.
Yeah.
but it would be so easy and so fast
Yes.
to go back.
Yes.
And thankfully, it makes me cringe
Yes.
at how easy that would be.
Mhm. And at the same
Um,
time, you get sick to your stomach thinking about it, and
oh,
you're
I
like,
am.
ugh.
I am
I'm
literally
sure.
very nauseous right now at the thought of how easy it could all slip away. And that's one thing that keeps me going. That's one thing that keeps me sober.
Absolutely.
Wanting to talk about it, because someone who is in an active addiction, that's not what I meant to say. Someone who has gotten out of an active addiction.
Okay.
Someone who has gotten out of an active addiction, and they can remember the behaviors, and they make that choice.
Right.
When they begin to forget,
Oof. Yeah. That's bad news.
they
That's a
become
scary
complacent.
place to be. Uh-huh.
That is beyond a slippery slope.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is a ski hill. Your skis got fresh wax. You are falling to the bottom, and you're
Yes.
gonna hit a mogul and crumple and tumble to the
Right.
bottom.
Right.
Because when you can't remember how bad it was, you are bound to repeat it.
Yes. That's why we women have more than one child. We forget. That just brought that up. You forget how horrible birth is. Oh my God. You forget and then you do it again. But
Again, some people again and again.
yes, yes, no, I stopped it too.
So,
But
so remembering, for me, that
yes,
remembering, as painful as it is,
yes.
it's really important.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah,
Sorry, on that. So how do you, because you don't go to meetings anymore.
no, I don't.
You don't go to meetings anymore. They did not, they stopped being fulfilling to you and bringing you more, right? Whatever that, and you can put your own verbiage to that.
Yeah, yeah.
So how do you, without, because people say, right, it's the one day at a time, and you go to a meeting and you keep going, and the reason you keep going is to not forget. So how do you, Mari-Lyn, continue to not, because you have not forgotten, and
I
you
have
haven't been to
not
a meeting in
forgotten.
a long time. So how is it that you, Mari-Lyn, stay in that place of remembering, yet not being in that loathing or that wallowing place? Because you don't do that at all. And if, I mean,
I have my moments, but I'm human.
sure, right, right.
But
But
they're moments.
yes,
Yeah.
right.
I heal.
Yes,
I heal.
yes.
I continually expand my awareness about myself, about my disease, about spirit.
Mhm.
I would not be able to do it. Well, I was going to say I wouldn't be able to do it on my own. I don't do it on my own.
Right.
And I think that's one of the biggest things is I'm not fooling myself that I'm staying sober all by myself. I am not staying sober all by myself.
Right.
I am staying sober with the help of spirit.
Mhm.
I am staying sober through the help and support I receive from you, my husband,
Mhm.
my entire family, actually.
Yes.
Truth be told, it is, even though it's not like the support I get from you and my husband,
Mhm.
um, there is still that energetic support that I have
Mhm.
from the rest of my family,
Mhm. Yep, absolutely.
and talking about it.
Yes. Yes.
The I okay, not going to beat myself up.
No.
When I started doing um the Mari-Lyn and Recovery podcasts,
Mhm.
those really helped me um anchor deeper into my sobriety,
Sure. Yes.
And, one other aspect of going to meetings is, helping the other person.
Right.
And I'm finding my own way, my
Yes.
individual way of being able to help the other person, through healings, through podcasting, through talking about it. And if more people were honest about
The word again. Hmm.
about their uh, feelings towards themselves,
Yes.
if they were more honest about why they feel the way they feel about themselves, we could eradicate addiction.
Absolutely. And that is really hard to do.
It's really hard to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very hard to do. It can be done, and we do it.
We do it.
And it's hard though.
It's really hard.
But
And
nothing, spirit always rewards us at the end. When every time we go through something rough, every time we get pushed down the stairs, every time we have some big ass lesson that has us in the fetal position,
yep,
whatever, we come out of that and spirit has something for us every time. We're always elevated after as a reward for it.
yeah. So one of the reasons we don't disclose how we feel about ourselves is vulnerability, right? So why is it that we humans have a hard time with vulnerability when it's beneficial to us?
I had to sneeze.
But bless you, we have no trouble being vulnerable, getting shit ass drunk, ripping off our
Right?
clothes in public, doing whatever, whether
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
anger. We're
Woo!
start a fight in public. We
Yes.
become a little risque in public.
Yes. Just acting like an asshole in public.
Just being
Yeah.
stupid.
Yes.
That's vulnerable. Getting
Yep.
drunk in public, falling down stupid drunk in public is
yes.
so vulnerable, but we have
Yes.
no trouble doing that.
No.
But yet to sit down and say to the world, I am so embarrassed that I am 20 pounds overweight.
Right. Right.
And because of that, I look at how lazy I am, and I look at how
Right.
stupid I am when I eat that candy bar, and
Yes.
on and on and on and on.
Yes. 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 Yes.
That might sound simple, and it might sound like I'm kind of poking fun at,
Right.
but I'm not.
No.
I'm not.
And to just owning your shit is so hard. And I mean owning it, not just saying, oh, I did this dumb thing. Really being in that place of vulnerability and really opening up and say, this is what I did. And I'm embarrassed and I hurt over it. And this is a wound. Yes.
I don't know exactly why they just brought me this memory of being on the golf course.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you and your golf. Yep.
And my dad saying something about I needed more practice, or I haven't practiced enough, and me taking that as him telling me,
Yeah.
I am so bad at golf
Yes.
that all the practice in the world isn't going to help me.
Yes.
I put that on my dad. I put that on him.
Yes.
And I held it against him for
And it wasn't him.
decades.
Yes. Even if he had said what you thought he said,
yeah,
it's still not on him at this point.
It's
When you
still
become
not
an
on
adult, it's your
And
your world,
I
it's your
was,
shit.
if I wasn't 18, I was pretty damn close. I was at least 17. I was probably 18.
Yeah.
But still,
Yes.
old enough to take responsibility
Yep.
for taking what someone says and losing a soul piece over it, and
Yeah.
say, well, I'm just never going to play again.
Right.
And
See,
I never did.
this is what, and we've talked about this, and I think we talked about it earlier too, is Mari-Lyn had, I mean, if you were to compare Mari-Lyn's childhood to my childhood, it's, I don't know, apples and bananas. I don't know. It's really
Apples and kumquats.
yes, yes. You can look at my childhood and go, woof, that girl is traumatized. You can look at Mari-Lyn's and go, oh, she had a really nice.
You look at Mari-Lyn and go, what the fuck did she have to drink over?
Right, exactly. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
We all have, not one of us gets out of our childhood unscathed. Not one of us, because we're not supposed to. We are not supposed to.
We are not.
I hate to think of how I've wounded my children. I know I have. I tried to be the best mother I could. My husband is a very good father, but they're wounded too. They're wounded because they're supposed to be. They came to learn the lessons.
Yes. Yes.
We all asked for it. So, and things like that were so innocent on your dad's end. He was just trying to help you. He was, but that's not the way you took it, because that's part of the wounding that you came to heal and deal with.
And
yes,
I allowed that to affect my relationship with him.
Yes.
Up until like really recently.
Yeah. For years.
Years.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's always a reason. There's always some trauma underneath whatever your addiction is. There's always some. And here's another thing that we don't talk about too often is being spiritual can be a complete freaking addiction too, and not always in a good way. Talk about those people that want to be on the pink cloud all the time, and they're it's all about love. Yes, we had a lady that used to say that all the time, and oh boy, was she messed up. She was, oh, poor thing. But she tried to be on the pink cloud all the time. And that was isn't it all about love? Isn't it? Well, yes. However, no. Like, yes and no, both of those things. Yes, it's about love, but bad things are going to happen, and we have to deal with them and learn how to deal with them and cope and move forward. And
but that is exactly what she was trying to do, wasn't it? Was
yes,
to live on that pink cloud.
Yes, live on that pink cloud, just like grounds in water. Okay, so we had a
ground in water.
So we had this when I did the meditations every week. We had this woman that would show up on occasion, and she Mari-Lyn knew her from whatever the program, whatever you call it, the rooms. Isn't that what the rooms? Anyway, she used to show up, and she was convinced that she was a dolphin. And when we would ground, the very first time I did the grounding meditation, the very first time, and she said, I ground in water. I don't ground in earth. And immediately Mari-Lyn and I shot each other a look, and it's dark in there when we would meet, but we could still see each other. Like, we saw that look, but it was a constant thing. She believing, okay. So let's say she was a dolphin. Let's say she is. She always said it was from, I can't remember what planet she was from, but she was a dolphin, and they're dolphins, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that that's the truth. But you're not right now. In this lifetime, you are not a dolphin. You are a human, and you have to be human, and you cannot ground in water. I'm sorry, it doesn't work for we humans. It might work for a dolphin. I don't know. I never thought about it or talked to them. But
I'm getting no.
It's living on that, like, we really need to stop working around our wounding. And it hurts to be in the wounding. It hurts to bring stuff up.
Yes.
But you know what? When you acknowledge it and you're in it and you see it and you ask to heal it, it can happen really fast. You are not where she has spent years grounding in water, trying to get away from this wounding. She could have been spending this time healing. And wow, what a wonderful life that
Yeah.
would be for
The
her.
bypassing that some people
Bypassing. I couldn't come up with that name.
extreme
Yes.
bypassing that some people do.
Yes.
By believing that they're living in this alternate
Yes.
reality.
Yes.
It's really, it's kind of scary. It's
Yeah.
sad. It's disheartening.
You're here for a reason. You need to, that's when we talk about being present, be present in your life, show up for yourself. We mean show up right here,
right here, right
this
now.
human
as you
deva.
are.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, woo. Anyway, I would never say her name or anything. And I do wish her the best. I really do. I really hope that she's able to find truth and the acceptance of who she is and what she's been through and why she's here, and really heal that stuff so she can be present and really enjoy her life and be here and just enjoy everything that life has for us, good, bad, and different.
And it's all there.
Yeah.
It's all
Yes.
there. And we have to accept all of it.
Yeah.
We can't just take all the good and we can't just take all the bad.
Unfortunately.
We have to accept it all, learn how to maneuver through it all.
And do it in gratitude. There's where the whole gratitude piece comes in. I'm grateful. It hurt like hell when my son was going to take his family away from me. But you know what? I was still, had they actually moved, I would have found my gratitude in that. Because if that's what it was supposed to be, that's what it really was supposed to be. And I would have found gratitude in it.
Yeah.
It just sucked, but.
It does suck.
Yeah.
It does. I mean, my family moved across.
You had a pet, yes.
I mean, not my children, but the next closest thing.
They were, yes. All intents and purposes, they were.
You know? Yeah.
So
and it sucks and it's hard. And you know, it is what it is.
So yes. I wanted to talk about something real quick. If this is your first time here, or even if you've been here multiple times and you haven't been to our website, we're going to ask you to please do that. TCS, which is the Conscious Spirit, TCSEverydayPsychics.com. TCSEverydayPsychics.com. We have many services on there. We have a lot of amazing services. We have a couple of other practitioners on there who offer services. Please go check it out. I don't know what else to say about that. That just came and I don't feel all light and bubbly about it for some reason. Usually I'm pretty bubbly, but yes. And
check it out. We have a contact us form and
yes, thank you.
It. Reach out, let us know what you are interested in. Let us know if there's something we're not offering that you want to know if we would offer.
Yes. And we're and in the next few months we're going to continue. We're still adding some things. We're kind of reworking some things, bringing on some new stuff, really exciting new things that are coming up. So yes, wherever you're listening or watching this, please subscribe and share with people. Love to hear from you. Would love to hear from you. So, and it helps if you subscribe, leave messages, all of that stuff, and it helps move us into the algorithm of reaching out to more people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I know this isn't the paranormal channel, but if you have paranormal activity
Yep.
and you are ready
Yes.
to live without it,
Yes.
let us know. We would love to help.
And paranormal is a gateway to being spiritual. Just saying.
There is.
Yes, it is.
It really is.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. I think I'm done
I think we're done
today. Yes. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. All right.
Yeah. Leave your comments. Sorry, I yelled earlier.
Yes.
It's all good.
All right. Sorry for my F-bombs if they, freak anyone out, but I don't think anyone listening to us is going to be freaked out by some
I
bad.
don't think so.
No. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.